Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today we'll be reviewing the best practices regarding leasing techniques for phone calls. This video will apply to anyone in the industry regardless of their demographic or asset type. It could apply to someone in conventional, student, a multifamily property, a conventional property, a high-rise, a mid-rise, cottage style, etc. Another video that will be very helpful that covers the same topics and has a little bit of crossover with this video as well is my video 3 Common Mistakes Leasing Agents Make. I will post the link to that video in the description. Now here are 4 practices to keep in mind and train your staff when handling those phone calls for leasing. Now keep in mind these 4 practices for you and your staff of how to handle leasing techniques for the phone. Number 1, really determine what that prospect is needing in their future home. Now, when you're speaking to this prospect for the first or second time, you're really going to want to typically lead out with a lot of questions to obtain this information. Now, there may be some things that prospect provides on the front end as far as what they're looking for, but usually they're not going to provide you everything that we need to know to help fit that prospect's needs and wants the best we can. So it'd be really important that you're guiding them through this part of the process, asking them additional questions, and that also helps spark some of their questions and or answers that they may want to give that will help you determine what is the best fit for them for their future home. This is something to keep in mind that these prospects you're working with, they're not professional prospects in the sense of they're not always looking for a new home. They're not commonly every month, every day, or every year maybe even looking for their new home. So you really want to be the professional in this situation and really step in and help them guide them through the process, especially in this early part of the process, so they can get comfortable and so that it'll allow them to ease any concerns they have or stress of moving. And for the second best practice to keep in mind, once you've obtained what they are looking for and needing in their new home, you really want to provide answers of what you have available that meets their needs and wants. Based off what you've been provided, this is the part where you really want to step in and address, hey, we have X, Y, and Z that meets your needs and wants. The earlier the better when it comes to this type of dialogue and this type of conversation in this stage of the process. What's really going to be important as well, as soon as they offer to you what they are looking for, the sooner that you can ease their concerns that you have something that meets their needs and wants, the better. This will build credibility in the relationship with you and them. This will also really help them as far as knowing, okay, they have something, that meets my needs and wants. Let me hear more. Let me be more open to what they're saying. And that's a really important stage of this process. Now, I'm assuming in most situations that you are going to be able to offer something for them that they are looking for. If you cannot, let's say, for example, they're looking for a 3-bedroom unit, but you only have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, I would obviously ask them at this point, hey, would a 2-bedroom work for your needs and wants? If the answer is still no, then at this point, then it's not a situation that your property may be the best fit for them. So it may be something that you can just simply refer them to some other properties in the area that do offer 3 bedrooms that would meet their needs and wants a little bit better than what you can offer. Keep in mind though, in most situations, that if they're looking up the phone number to call you, they're also going to probably have looked at your website at this point and see that, hey, you don't offer 3 bedrooms, you only offer 1s and 2s. So they've already probably done some of that due diligence, so they're probably not going to spend the time calling you and reaching out if they know for sure that you do not offer something for them that they are looking for. So usually that's a rare case where they're going to be interested in something that you don't offer. One of the things to keep in mind, once you've told them, yes, we do have some units that meets your needs and wants, as you're actually taking a deeper dive into those details of those units, a really good tip that I would strongly recommend is as you're outlining the units that meets their needs and wants that you have available, really outline to them how these units meet their needs and wants. Maybe they want a particular floor, maybe they want a particular location of the property, or maybe they want a storage unit or an attached garage or to be close by a garage. As you're going through the units that you have available, really stop and then at the start of each one, as you're talking about the details of the unit, really explain to them how it meets their needs and wants. This will be super important to ensure that, hey, I've listened to what you've told me, I value you as a prospect, and I'm meeting your needs and wants, and this is how. That's a big step of the process, and it'll really help build a relationship to ensure that, hey, this person is getting what I'm looking for, they're listening to me, they're also providing me some great options. So it's a really important stage of the process. If you're enjoying this video so far and learning something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. And the third best practice for leasing techniques for phone calls is smile. Now, I know this may seem a little off because the prospect cannot see you, but data shows us that even if a prospect cannot see you, by smiling during a call will really improve your delivery during that call. Your messages, your ability to decrease their stress, your overall positivity will improve if you smile on the phone. And here's a pro tip for everyone today. One of the things I've seen staff and companies do is by their leasing desk, they put a small mirror that sits right in front of their phones. This is to help remind staff to smile as they pick up the phone or follow up with any prospects, as they can see themselves right there as they're dialing or answering the phone. And if you feel this may work for you and or your staff, it is something I've seen work for a lot of teams, and I would recommend it if that's something you're willing to explore. And the last best practice for your leasing techniques for phone calls, you really want to work towards scheduling a tour. The goal should be for any phone calls, text messages, emails, any interaction with prospects is the next stage of the process should be to schedule and come to the property for a tour. This is going to be your best ability to see their level of seriousness with moving into and considering your property for their future home, as well as help them determine if this property is the right fit for them or not. Now, you could provide to them a virtual tour that's a remotely done instead of face-to-face, but I would highly recommend if you have the ability to have that prospect come to physically see your property, that's going to be much more meaningful as they're going to eventually move into the property potentially anyway, so it's going to benefit them a little bit more if they can actually see the property. Now, I know a lot of times this may not be possible because the prospect may be living out of state and may be moving into the area for maybe a job or something like that. And if you are able to get them to come physically see the unit instead of remotely, then it is something I would try to do if you're able to. Like I mentioned earlier, this stage of the process is really important to help them determine if this is the right place for them or not. After they tour, you should be able to really gauge if they are highly interested or not, and it'll be really important that you show them on that tour as well their wants and needs. So showing them a unit, showing them how it meets their wants and needs will really help them determine, hey, is this the right place for me or not? If you've not already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why I do this video. And if you haven't seen those two, the links to those two videos are in the description as well. And if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Happy leasing!